I want to begin with the story. Imagine an 11-year-old, extremely shy, introverted girl whose English teacher forces her to deliver a lengthy speech in a language she does not understand. You may put your imagination to rest. The girl in question, that's me. As a child, I was quiet, extremely shy, and hated to be on the stage. And here was my strong-willed English teacher who insisted that I speak about our multicultural country on the Republic Day celebrations in our school in front of at least 1,000 people, and in a language that I did not speak. He wanted me to deliver the speech in Bangla, not my language. Did I want to do it? No. Did I have a choice? No. Why? Because my parents were not willing to change my school because of this. And our family doctor refused to write a fake medical certificate. So I was stuck with a script in Bangla, not knowing what to do. I started practicing it over and over again in front of my family and friends. Hooray! I rehearsed so well that I started playing like a tape recorder. So the Republic Day arrived, and here I was on the stage in front of a huge audience, terrified. I could literally hear the pumping of my heart. Tick, 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 tick. Despite the chills that went down my spine, I managed to utter the first few lines. Can you guess what happened the next? Anyone? Yes? I forgot my speech. So here I was, on the stage, my first public speaking, huge audience, and my mind had gone blank. I promise it felt terrible. I felt like a complete failure. However, it was in that moment of failure that I discovered a new self, devoid of fear. As I was already facing the worst possible outcome in that situation, I had nothing more to lose. I cleverly leaned down, pretending to tie my shoelaces, took a deep breath, and I stood back to finish the speech I had forgotten. When I stepped down the stage, my teacher patted a bravo, and my friends congratulated me. It was in that moment of failure I learned two crucial life lessons that I would like to share with you today. First, there is a massive disjuncture, there is a huge discrepancy between the self you perceive and the self that you portray to others. What seems like a failure to you may not appear to be failure to others. Second, success is the result of how you deal with failures. My argument today is that failure is an essential component of every success narrative. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have already failed at something? Let's say a test, a sport, or could you please raise your hands? Thank you. Let's look around. Raise your hands. Thank you very much. Let's look around. I would request you all to see. Thank you. You looked at the number of raised hands? That reminds us that it is human to fail. Failure is an integral part of success. It is amusing to know that most of us would fail more often than we succeed. Success is like the tip of an iceberg. What you see are the final moments of glory, of victory, of celebration. What remains under are the moments of tears, trials, attempts, failures, and of course, heartbreaks. There is a long list of world-famous people who were labeled as good for nothing before they actually became successful. To stress on my point, I would like to quote two different people from completely different professions and eras. First, when Thomas Edison was asked about his failures, he said, I quote, "I haven't failed. I just found out 10,000 ways of doing things in ways that don't work." Unquote. Another celebrity I picked up is Priyanka Chopra, who said in one of her interviews, I quote, "Young girls envy models who can do perfect catwalks in 6 inches heels in saris. However, nobody cares to know how many times do these girls fall during the practice sessions?" Unquote. So you see, every success story has a past, has a history of multiple failures. Let me be honest with you. Failure is the most profound teacher that you will ever get. Respect that teacher. It teaches you how to grow. It teaches you how to learn new things. You know what the problem is? The problem is that we are trained, we are conditioned to fear our teachers, and so we fear failures. Failures are not your identity. If you fail at something, it does not mean that you become a failure. Failures just give you experience. They make you stronger. They teach you new ways of doing things. You know what the need is? The need is to shift the narrative. Instead of saying, "I failed," we should say, "I learned." Take insights from your failures, learn, and do not stop moving forward. I'm a language teacher, and I keep telling my students, learn like babies and toddlers who do not worry how many times they fail before they actually begin to walk, who coo and babble multiple times before actually starting to speak. Just do not bother about failures. We need to learn from them and keep moving. Failure is not the wall. It's just a new beginning. So next time you fail, remember this. It is not the end of a story. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. So my dear friends, go out there and fail. Just don't fail on purpose. Thank you very much.